Picture this. It's a sunny Tuesday morning in downtown Atlanta, and Pastor Marcus Washington, a 45-year-old respected community leader with salt and pepper, hair and kind eyes behind wire-rimmed glasses, is walking peacefully toward his car after visiting the local community center, where he volunteers twice a week feeding the homeless. But what happens next will shock you to your core and prove that sometimes karma works faster than a Twitter trending hashtag. Officer Derek Mitchell, a 38-year-old white police officer with a buzz cut, permanent scowl, and ego bigger than his badge, spots Pastor Washington and immediately assumes the worst because, well, let's just say his prejudices run deeper than a Georgia well in summer. But here's where it gets absolutely wild. What Officer Mitchell doesn't know is that Pastor Washington isn't just any ordinary man of God. He's about to become the catalyst for the most spectacular downfall in police department history, and, trust me, you're going to want to stick around because this story has more twists than a pretzel factory and more justice than a superhero movie. Smash that like button right now if you believe in karma. Hit subscribe and ring that notification bell because Axiom USA is about to serve you a story so incredible, you'll be telling your friends about it for weeks. So there's Pastor Washington, minding his own business, when Officer Mitchell approaches him with all the subtlety of a bulldozer at a flower show, demanding to know what he's really doing in this neighborhood. And folks, what happens next is going to make your blood boil and your faith in justice restored all at the same time. The pastor, being the gentleman he is, politely explains he's been volunteering, shows his ID, and even mentions he's the pastor at Greater Hope Baptist Church just 2 blocks away. But Mitchell, oh boy, Mitchell, he's having none of it, because his brain apparently runs on stereotype fuel and ignorance gasoline. And then IT happens. In front of dozens of witnesses, including Mrs. Betty Johnson, a 67-year-old retired school teacher with silver hair and a phone camera, Mitchell actually slaps Pastor Washington across the face while shouting racial slurs that would make a sailor blush and a saint weep. The crowd gasps, phones start recording, and Pastor Washington, bless his heart, just stands there with dignity intact, cheek red but spirit unbroken, as Mitchell struts away like he just won the lottery instead of destroying his career, in 4K resolution. But here's the plot twist that will blow your mind. Little does Officer Mitchell know that his victim isn't just beloved by his congregation. Pastor Washington happens to be the brother-in-law of Judge Patricia Williams, the city's first black female judge who's tougher than overcooked steak and has zero tolerance for injustice, and he's also the community liaison for the mayor's office. And get this, his wife Sarah Washington is a civil rights attorney who eats corrupt cops for breakfast and has never lost a case. You won't believe what happens next. The story continues as social media explodes faster than popcorn in a microwave when Mrs. Johnson's video goes viral, racking up 2.3 million views in just 4 hours, with hashtags like John Justice for Pastor and Bad Cop No Donut trending nationwide, while Pastor Washington, being the saint he is, initially tries to handle the matter quietly through proper channels, calling Police Chief Robert Thompson, a 52-year-old veteran officer with graying temples and a conscience, who nearly chokes on his morning coffee when he sees the video because he knows Mitchell has been a walking lawsuit waiting to happen. Meanwhile, Officer Mitchell is at home, probably celebrating with a beer and completely oblivious to the digital tsunami heading his way, when his phone starts buzzing like an angry beep. It's his sergeant calling to inform him that he's been suspended pending investigation, and Mitchell's response, he laughs it off, thinking his police union will protect him like they always do, not knowing that even his union representative, Janet Foster, a tough-talking woman in her 50s with red hair and a no-nonsense attitude, took one look at the video and said, "You're on your own, buddy." But wait, it gets so much better. The next morning arrives like Christmas morning for justice lovers everywhere, as Mitchell wakes up to find news vans parked outside his house, his phone ringing nonstop, with reporters wanting interviews and his own mother calling to ask if he's lost his damn mind. Pastor Washington, meanwhile, is handling the situation with such grace and dignity that even his critics can't find fault, holding a press conference where he calls for police reform and community healing rather than revenge, making Mitchell look even worse by comparison. It's like watching a masterclass in how to be the bigger person, while your opponent digs his own grave with a steam shovel. The police chief, under mounting pressure from the mayor, city council, and about 50,000 angry citizens who've signed a petition for Mitchell's firing, calls an emergency meeting where Mitchell shows up looking like he hasn't slept in a week, his usual arrogance replaced by the dawning realization that his actions have consequences. And here comes the beautiful irony. Mitchell, who probably never respected anyone's authority in his life, finds himself literally begging Chief Thompson to keep his job, claiming he was having a bad day and didn't mean it. Excuses. So pathetic they wouldn't work on a kindergarten teacher, let alone a police chief who's seen every excuse in the book. The chief, a fair man who's worked his way up from beat cop to leadership, looks Mitchell dead in the eye and delivers a speech about honor, duty, and respect that would make Captain America proud before delivering the knockout punch. Officer, Mitchell, you're fired, effective immediately, and I'm recommending criminal charges for assault and civil rights violations. But the story doesn't end there. The real justice is yet to come. 3 months later, we see Mitchell working at a fast food restaurant where his former attitude gets him in trouble with customers daily, while Pastor Washington has been honored by the mayor, appointed to the Police Oversight Committee, and has started a program that brings community leaders and police together for dialogue, proving that sometimes the best revenge is living well and making positive change. The final scene shows Mitchell, now humble and working minimum wage, seeing Pastor Washington on TV receiving another community service award, and for the first time, Mitchell's face shows genuine remorse as he realizes what his hatred and prejudice cost him. Not just his career, but his respect, his reputation, and any chance at redemption in a world that doesn't forget viral videos. And that, my friends, is how karma served up justice with a side of poetic irony, proving that in the end, love conquers hate, dignity defeats arrogance, and sometimes the universe has a sense of humor darker than midnight, but more satisfying than your favorite dessert.